Greetings, everyone. Happy Friday. I hope you're having a great week. We've had an interesting week so far. It's been one of those kind of more humbling weeks. Our results have been great. Like I think we've 7-1 a couple times on air. Got a 4-win, 5-win. So our results have been there. But I've been feeling very sketchy on my play this week. I've been just missing some lines. I've been missing some pings. I've been under rope pressure and making some decisions that in retrospect I'm not happy with, and that's just part of it. Like, I'm trying to figure out what takeaways I have that I can use to do better in the future, because I'm continually trying to get better at this game, but also I am an old man too, and I was thinking about how, like, I'm really I should expect my game to more deteriorate from here than get better. I want to continue to try and get better, but also there's parts of it, like, where my brain is just going to get worse at doing this stuff, and that's kind of humbling to think about too. And so I don't know what takeaways I have for my dissatisfaction with my process this week, but maybe it's that I need to take it faster in the early turns so I can get some hourglasses built up, and then take it slower in the later turns so I don't miss those lines, and I give myself a chance to puzzle through some of those tougher magic spots that come up all the time. And something that comes up all the time around here is my great love for Card Kingdom, my sponsor. I love them because they're my sponsor, but I love them because they're my local game store, and they're my favorite internet retailer. Whenever I need anything for my physical Magic game, they're the first place I go. I actually have a lot of Card Kingdom credit built up because I transact with them all the time, and I like to have some Card Kingdom credit so that I can pick up the latest thing when I want it without having to dig into my wallet. So that's a nice thing. If you want to build up some credit too, just make an account. When you sell them some of your singles, or you can even sell them sealed product, whatever they're buying, you can indicate store credit, get a 30% bonus, and then it can just kind of sit there waiting for you, ready to use when the right thing comes along that you've decided that you need. And when that happens, of course, you're going to make sure to use my affiliate link down below in the panels, because that is what lets them know that you're a fan of my stream, and that you've heard my message, and that you're going to give them a try on my behalf. And then that's wins all around. So let's go for some wins all around here too and jump in. But thank you very much, Card Kingdom. Torpid Ninja. Yeah, I think last week had some really underwhelming results. Yesterday had underwhelming results too, but overall our week has been good. All right, and again, we're on, we don't have to rare draft at all. For what it's worth, do we have four? No, we only have one of those, so we should not worry about taking Castle Ardenvale unless we think it's the most powerful pick in the pack. This is not an account on which we are trying to build a collection, so therefore all taking rares does is move us toward converting some of them to gems via wildcard conversion, and that's not something we need to worry about here. So we get to pick for power, pick for expectation. We have Grumgully. We know that red, white, red, green have both been powerful ways to go. We wouldn't want to marry Grumgully on first pick, but you could argue taking it on the chance that because we're probably going to wheel Treefolk or Pear, for example. Both of Pear doesn't go quite as well with Grumgully being a human, but Treefolk is pretty good. Covetous Urge is a strong card, but it is basically mono black, mono blue, or black blue, and all three of those don't sound great to me right now. So as much as I like Covetous Urge in general, I don't know if I want to start there. We could start Secret Keeper. I did have a mono blue deck with 3 Secret Keepers, and it looked pretty good, and then I went 0-3 with it. That was off air. I think it's Trapped or Grumgully. I'll send this one to chat for a quick poll, and you guys can dictate how we start this draft. Let's go 20 seconds on Tower or Grum. I don't think there's anything else I would take. I guess I'll put Urge in. If you really want to start down, hedge towards Urge, we could. Looks like Grumgully's taking this one. I'll just take it now, and we'll. I don't even need to let the poll finish. The chat has already spoken. Well, probably going to wheel this Ginger Brute. We could take a Paladin here. It's the only green card, and it's a good one. I don't love taking 5 drops early, even one as good as the Paladin, but it does work with Grumgully. This is not a human, and there's nothing, you know, we're not passing on some incredible power card in some other color. Arcanist Owl is pretty good, but also a very committing pick. And this cuts green with a strong pick. And we, again, I like that we can cut green while anticipating a possible wheel from the pack that could work for us. So I'm going to take, yeah, Trebuchet is another one. Trebuchet is the other obvious choice because we could end up in red-green non-human knight leaning. Absolutely. A lot of the knights are human, but not necessarily in red-green. Like this is a knight right here. You know, I'm going to take the Paladin. I think with this start, I would rather start there. But yeah, this is an interesting beginning. And now we have Keeper of the Fables also in the non-human side, but Trail of Crumbs is quite an incredible build around. But it's more incredible in green-black, where you're doing the food thing. But I think we should just take Keeper. Yeah, with these 2 nice non-humans and a non-human reward card, taking another non-human reward card really sets us up for a clear direction from the beginning. What does worry me is that we're on a 3-drop and 2 5s, so we got to mind our curve. But minding our curve toward non-human red-green seems great at this point. And some people are down on Trail. I'm high on Trail if I'm in black-green, but this may as well say green and a black to cast. I think of this as a green-black card. So let's get Keeper and see about some non-humans like a Rimrock Knight, for example. Reeve Soul's powerful too, though. We could take Reeve and, again, not marry Grumgully. This is probably the best card in the pack, but this one leans heaviest into the theme we've started with. I think that's worth it. I like the Reeve, but we have a really nice core that we've started with here, so let's work that. And we get another Rimrock here, and we're pretty successfully cutting, again, red and green. It's a little concerning there's not any green to cut, so in the last couple of packs, but even if we don't get any more green this pack, it would mean that green wasn't flowing this direction, which means it will probably flow nicely, at least in pack 2. I'm going to take another Rimrock. Barge In goes fine in this deck. Again, it's got non-human on it. It's Barge In has gone from, is pretty a highly rated card in the community right now, and justifiably, aggro red is a strong deck to pick up right now with these Rimrocks. But note, this only works on attacking. Rimrocks don't block. It's a very single-minded strategy, and let's not forget the drawback of Barge In when you're behind and trying to defend, because then it just does nothing and it's pretty ugh. This Paladin is a knight. We do have a lot of knights going. It's a human knight though, so it doesn't do the human thing. I'm going to say no on the Paladin. We'll take a Mad Ratter and probably not play it, or we could again hedge towards a non-red-green color, but I'd rather just cut red-green and commit here. Well, Mad Ratter's not that great. That's the thing, Krauser. We got beat by it a couple of these on stream this week or last week, but largely Ratter the blue-red deck has underperformed, and Mad Ratter has underperformed as a payoff for it. This is definitely playable in our deck. So is Insatiable Appetite. Again, I'm going to lean to the non-human theme. Here's hoping we find the Ginger Brute coming up. We could take Pear or Treefolk, and very nice to see that both wheeled. These were basically the 2 cards in the opener. The Pear is human, so it doesn't fit the theme, but it's a little easier on the curve. But I think we should probably just take the Treefolk. I want to mind our curve though, and right now our curve is pretty much lacking in in the low end. Yeah, 2/2. Well, isn't it +1 + 0? 2/1 rats, right? Well, we had to make rats first. I don't know how we're doing that. Maybe with keeper. What do you think, though? Nobody's piped in on Tree Folk versus Pair. I'm wondering if we should just take Pair because of our curve right now. AVB says, nah, Pair doesn't do enough. We'll mind our curve coming up, take the Tree Folk. All right, we'll take Tree Folk for now. I think AVB kind of summed it nicely. It's pack 1. We can mind our curve coming up and take the on-theme pick here. I don't think we're playing the Ratter, so in a sense, this is like our first 4-drop. Playing the Oaken Boon on 4. Like, I mean, I'll leave it in, but I really don't think we're playing Ratter. And the Gingerbrute came back. All right, this is what we were hoping for. Oh, again, this is really skewing us aggro. Gingerbrute, 2 Rimrocks, Ferocity, Barge In are all screaming at us to attack constantly. Jousting Dummy over Blow Your House Down. This is not a human. Fits the curve. Fling seems like it could be decent in the red-green deck as possible playable if we don't have other ways to close. I mean, chucking some 5-drop green creatures is a pretty good way to end a game. Yeah, it's not what I'm hoping to be our main plan, and that same with Blow Your House Down, which is why I'm putting it sideboard, but nice to have it available. I think this has been a successful first pack. I like where we're at. Now let's see if cutting all that red and green pays off in pack 2. Well, this is just luck that this is paying off. What are we going to wheel? Certainly a Barge In or an Appetite. Hopefully a Carver. Be nice to get a Carver out of here. Or an Ogre Knight, which is a non-human. But we'll take this here Beast Noble. Might want to find some other 1/1s. Like Gingerbrute's good. Like Gingerbrute goes up in value now because if they kill the human token created by Lovestruck Beast, it's nice to have some backup 1/1s for the beast to fall in love with. Maybe the beast is into rats this draft. Again, I don't think we're playing Ratter, but we could. Let's take the beast, though. All right, and here's where we get past payoff stuff, though, too. Human, so not part of our big plan, but still takeable. And then hopefully we wheel Rider or Redcap, which do fit in our plan. They mind our curve. This starts to pressure our 5-drops. Having 3 5-drops that we want to play by pack 2, pick 2 is pretty early to be that loaded at 5 with cards you really don't want to cut. But I have a hard time passing this card, even though I also have a hard time untapping with this card. You know what I mean? Like this card is like top of my list of cards that have never untapped and done anything. It's like they just get killed. She just gets killed. Wow. Okay. Another one or a tracker. This is where maybe we do mind our curve. Seems like I was just gushing and saying I wouldn't pass her. We also have Barrage, but we also have this tracker that helps our curve problems. Sits back as a 1/1 outside of combat to allow attacking from the beast. So I think this might be a discipline spot. But also, I bet we wheel the tracker. Especially, yeah, although it's the only green card here. There's also removal. Maybe I'll pull this one. This is a nice... I bet we get a nice spread on this. So we got SYR for the Knight, sir. Barrage for the removal. And Tracker for the green creature. If we don't take Tracker, it's because we're trying to wheel it. I think our deck might need it the most right now of anything in this pack. but it may be something we try to wheel. Also, I should roll. I've been thinking I need to roll over cards more, make sure that people watching on YouTube can pause and read these critical cards that we're considering if they're not familiar with the set, you know? Huh. I was talking up these two, but Barrage is the suggestion. Yeah, that's another. I didn't really talk to this card much, but we don't really have any other reach out and kill ya removal other than Fling, which is not ideal for the purpose. Yeah, we can put the curve on. That's the thing. It's another 5. All right, I'll take it. I'll follow chat, mainly because I think we can wheel the tracker. But I think the tracker is the most important card for the deck. I just think we can wheel it. Here we're going to take Scorching Dragonfire and try and wheel this red cap. And if we fail to wheel the red cap, we at least get like a Rose Thorn or a Pheasant. Fell the Pheasant we can consider main decking. There's a barge in, but we have a barge in on a creature, which is even better. So we're going to take Shield's Might here. No problem. Lance is nice, but this is the pick. Here's a barge in we can grab because these two are not really grabbable in this spot. There's another Fling, but I think we need to just take it 2. Hopefully we get the quality low drops to be able to cut the Wolverine by the end of the draft, but in case we don't, we will be happy to have a curve-filling 2/1 if that's what the deck needs. We can take a Thrill to give us a little bit more of an opportunity to play the Ratter, or we can take the Spider. Both of these put the deck in a direction that I think is less aggro than we want it to be. I think maybe Spider, while, yeah, Flying Protection maybe is worth it even in aggro. It's just like, it's a little at odds with the hyper-aggressive nature of what this deck is trying to do. But it is non-human as well, so sometimes it's going to attack as a, you know, 2/5 trample and connect and draw us a card or whatever, right, with Keeper. Yeah, clinging to Ratter doesn't help us, so yeah, let's take the Spider. All right, everything we wanted to wheeled. It shows our cutting hard of the colors really worked because all of the stuff for our deck is still here. Looks like we're going to get... We could get the major hookup in pack 3 if the packs are kind and full of red and green. Let's look at this curve. If we assume we're not ratting, which I think is probably correct, and probably not flinging if we can help it, even though this looks like a decent deck for a fling, I'm just being realistic in terms of our desire. Then we get Carver the human or Errant the non-human. I don't think with 2 bargains already, we can't justify Appetite or a bargain. I think we do play to the theme of the deck a little bit and go with the Ogre. Yeah, I kind of just want the pack. And there's certainly nothing wrong with a second Carver. Even if you just think of this as a combat trick that happens to give you an extra creature later, it's pretty good. But I'm going to go with first Errant over second Carver. All right, both of our cards that we wanted back came back. We could prioritize the red cap as another creature for the Lovestruck Beast to fall in love with. Unless, of course, we have Grumgully. Like, maybe Grumgully has a thing for Lovestruck Beast and secretly pumps up all these 1/1 non-humans so that the beast is not attracted to them. So it's a whole triangle thing. But I think we take the Rider, actually. Although we don't, it's not like we have food. And we have some night synergies. Still, this card beats. Yeah, both are knights. Oh, it's true. Both are knights. So the knight synergy is not a thing. It's about the 1/1 synergy or just the slot on the curve. I think I'm going to take the Rider. Maybe take a return, play a Return to Nature. We'll take that and keep it in for now. Same with Fell. Main deckable, but not... I don't think we're running 3 bargains ever, especially given the Carver that we already have. I don't think we're running Slipper either. Did I miss an opportunity to take one, or were we just noting that it didn't wheel? Maybe I glossed over. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Then I just glossed over the presence of the red cap. Sorry. Check it out. Can't play this anywhere else. Yeah, passing the red cap was just a plain old didn't pay attention mistake. But here we get a nice playable rare. Witch Stalker. Sweet. That makes food that the rider can eat. And what else can we wheel out of this? We might wheel a Squire. Oh, there's Dragonfire too, but I actually think we want a Witch Stalker more than a Dragonfire right now. Tight. Close, though. Really sorry about that red cap. That was actually a nice curve filler, perfect like pickup, so I'm a little sad. Pay attention, Ryan. There's no clock here. All right, there's a Curious Pair, Insatiable Appetite, but we just take another Tree Folk, I think. Or we could take, yeah, no, again, though, we're not taking, we don't need to worry about gems here. This is not a, although I should have looked at how many, we might want to go and craft these for this account. We got a lot of rares, so maybe we'll go do some crafting for this account. Now look at the curve. I barely see the wheel anymore, but I suppose with these 5s, it's justifiable. Our 3s are kind of low. We could even cut the spider and we have legit stuff to ramp to at 5, which is one of the problems generally with the wheel. And then probably wheeling these options to consider anyway. Take the wheel, consider the wheel. Yeah, I'm in with that. Some interesting options here. Raiders does the non-human thing. So does the Weaselback. Halberd is interesting, though. It equips to most of our deck. And yeah, this is the secondary account. Here, let me reset the record, and then everything else will be correct, actually, about this display. Creatures, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, maybe I can. No, I can't check that way. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we're already at 16 creatures, but that's not. We don't want to play all of them, but probably want the Weaselback. Oh, no, sorry. We're going to take the Halberd here and wheel the Weaselback. Yeah, I want the Halberd here. I think we're going to... Ooh, hello, Rampart Smasher, my friend. Oh, hello. Hi. Hi. You're cute. Carver. It's like we're going to have choices in this one. We can take another non-human 2-drop. But I think maybe a Gingerbrute, given that we have Tree Folk, likely to wheel another Tree Folk. We have a Halberd. This is the deck where this is the type of deck where I do like the Gingerbrute. We have a bunch, let's see, Grumgully, Ferocity, Tree Folk, and Halberd. We have 4 cards already that turn these Gingerbrutes from a 1-powered threat into a 2 or 3-powered threat, and that makes me like them a lot more. And we have the synergy with the crazy soap opera of romance going on in this deck, because now, like, you know, the Lovestruck Beast was already checking out this Gingerbrute, like eyeing it, like, and then turns out Gingerbrute has a twin. That's creating a whole triangle. Oh my god, this is the drama. The drama. Trebuchet. Well, it would get a counter. But maybe we just want a dummy. I don't know if we have enough knights for a Trebuchet to be quite worth it. It still does its thing. It just does it slowly, more slowly. But yeah, I think we're a little bit more aggressive in different ways in this. We could take Giant Opportunity, make more food for Rider, but no, that seems bad too. But I don't think we're taking... Yeah, we're not going to play this dummy, are we? Maybe we would. Like, these... This is probably not main. This is probably not main. I'd like this to not be main. Like, I'd rather have a Jousting dummy than a Wolverine. Once I cut away the 2s that I'm not particularly happy with, I actually want to take another Jousting Dummy. Another Brute. Or blow your house down, take another Brute. All right, here's another Ogre Errant we can take, which now that we have filled out, we have a pretty solid contingent of 2s here. 5 2-drop creatures that we're happy to play, plus 3 brutes and a halberd. So there's a bunch of early action we have now that I'm pretty happy with. So I don't think we need to take a card like Squire, although you could argue it's an upgrade to dummy, but we have so many non-human stuff, it's actually a downgrade. We're going to take Ogre Errant, but might get squeezed out. We're pretty, like, we can put these carvers at 2 in terms of their, well, it's almost more like a spell. It's almost like these aren't anything. These are, in my mind, this is a 2-drop spell with a random body attached for later. So given that, maybe we might play another Errant. I'll take it and we'll consider it. Here's an Appetite that I don't think will make the cut in this crowded build. Cabin we can consider and not play. Yeah, I could have taken Uncommon for Vault, but again, this is not a Vault progress, and rare drafting is not so much a thing here, although that does remind me that I do want to go and model the behavior for this backup account. So if you end up keeping a secondary account like this one, or if your primary account is one that doesn't necessarily play enough to 4x a set, so what I'm about to do is good for backup account maintenance and main account maintenance if you're someone who doesn't ever 4x a set and just wants to play as much limited as possible. Because what we're going to do here with this account where we don't care about our collection is we're going to convert some of these rare wild cards into gems via leaving the draft before we finish it and crafting up the rares that we drafted to 4 copies. I didn't check, so I don't know how many we have, but we're going to check in on, where is it? We have Lovestruck Beast. And didn't we get another rare? What am I missing? Maybe we didn't. Is it just the Beast? Oh, Once Upon a Time. Right, thanks. Okay, so let's go. We're going to click Decks. Collection. Right. Well, maybe this account has it once, but I don't even know. But, oh, we got to show, let's look at Eldraine only and also include not collected. There's Lovestruck Beast. So we have none. But again, we're not doing anything else with this account, so I'm going to go ahead and model it. Ideally, you do this once you have some. You know, like if the ideal situation would be, oh, I actually have 2 Lovestruck Beasts, so this is a good time to use 2 of my wild cards. But we're going to go ahead and use 4, craft 4. I don't use this account, haven't been using this account much, so it's unlikely we have any Once Upon a Times as well. And this is really, yeah, this is ironic. Just people are laughing because this card is banned in all constructed formats except for like Brawl and stuff. So this is about the most worthless constructed craft you can do on Arena at the moment. And here we are doing it. Ban card warning. They should just cross off in standard. Important note, this is not playable. Oh, I get gems either way. Good point. Oh well, it's fine. I'm trying to model the behavior anyway. Pretend it's not a banned card. I'm just showing you if you're managing a free-to-play side account and its only purpose is to draft as much as possible, you want to do this with your wild cards. That's my point. Are you sure about that, Mac? I didn't do that because I didn't think that's how it worked, but you may be right. Okay, that's good to know, Mac. I'm glad we cleared that up. I'll keep that in mind for the future, although it's pretty, you're talking about a handful of banned cards, but good to know about them. I thought it was already banned. That's what I was saying. Isn't didn't they announce once banned in Historic, or did they announce that banned, or is it banned in Pioneer? I'm losing track of my Eternal formats, I guess. Oh, suspended, right, that's what I mean. Yeah, it was suspended, right? So there we go. We got some gems out of it too. And we got some cuts to make. We got 21 creatures, 9 spells. So we want to cut a little of each. I wonder if we can cut. Let's cut this return to nature. Maybe. Do we give up 1 brute? 3 brutes seems like we could get brute flood in a way that would be underwhelming. Like I kind of want to, yeah, I want to do 1 ogre, 1 brute. At least. And we've got a lot of cuts to make. So like maybe we'll stick to the aggro plan and just let go of the spider. I think I do like the spinning wheel, given the mana hungriness of the deck between a real high end and a bunch of adventure. Actually, I like where you're headed with the name Atacall, but I think we need to tweak it. We need to be a little clever that. So we're calling it Love Dodecahedron. Is that how you spell it? Bad Romance could be good. Add Bizarre, good call. Bacalao. This is the important stuff of the stream, you know. Do we want to get rid of a jousting dummy? Yeah, what's our numbers again? All right, let's get real. Of our 3 cuts, I think at least 1 should be a creature, 1 should be a spell. Maybe we can let go of a Carver. I like it because we're so low on 3s, for one thing. I think she's not cuttable. Well, let's see. Let's count how many creatures there are in like, because there it's all the 1/1s plus Grumgully plus, so like 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess there's 4. There's 2 Ginger Brutes, the Lovestruck Beast. What? There's the 5th is on the card itself, right? Because there's the Heart's Desire. So there's like 5 players in this drama. What's oops, pentagram? What do you call a 5-sided 2-dimensional? Right? There we go. I think we... Yeah, is it Pentagon? Pentagram? I'm not going to cut once. I get what you're saying. Like, it's not amazing if you don't draw it in the opener, but I'm not cutting once. Yeah, pentagram feels pointy. What's like what's a hexagram but for 5? Anybody answer that yet? Pentagon. Okay. That makes sense. It's like the building. Even if not, it's a fine play on the building. All right, thank you, chat. We've settled on the name. The name is perfect. Now let's get the deck perfect. Okay, and looking at numbers again, 18-8. Yeah, maybe we cut this. Pentagram, yeah, maybe the name's not perfect. Either of those are good. I think we're gonna keep. If we cut a brute, we have to change the name again, so that can't work. We could do. This is some people suggesting this. Like we could do this. We could cut a barge in if we like Carver better. Maybe Carver, 2 Carvers, 1 barge in is where it's at. I want the wheel. I think this is actually a wheel deck. And Tree Folk is one of the reasons I like the Ginger Brutes. I find a lot of value out of the Tree Folk. I think this is a good place to start. Let's start here so we can get playing, and then we can revisit. All right, last chance. Here, this is an important poll. I gotta pull this. What is the funnier deck name? Wow, I think Pentagram had the more passionate fan base, but Pentagon has won the day. That's fine. You could have a Bizarre Love Star Shape. Nothing wrong with a Bizarre Love Star Shape. But let's run this. See how it goes. And we'll make a sure, it makes sense. It's lines because there's 5 people all in different romantic lined, you know. It works. Either one of them works, but I'll go with chat's vote on that one. Let's go play, and I'll find a par poll for you. Yeah, Pentagram makes more lines of romance, right? Don't love Rimrock as a 2-drop creature, but I'm not going to ship this, so we're keeping. Maybe we'll find something else to do on 2 besides no Boulder Rush Rimrock. Well, I would say in a Pentagon, a person on the edge can only have the romantic line to the right and left, right? In a pentagram, they go. Oh, I guess you're right. You're saying they just go across instead of right and left. It needs to be a pentagram in a pentagon. That's it. We could just Dragonfire the red cap instead of playing the knight. I'm going to play the knight, though. Barge in is good with the knight. They'll look to trade off, and then we get him with barge in. Maybe it's a pentagram with a pentagon touching the edges of the circle of the pentagram, thus giving us all the lines. And maybe the circle around the outside is when they all get together. That's true. I only have eyes for Smasher. Well, I guess we're racing. Not going to barge in here. Just going to trade 3 for 3 and keep our Scorching Dragonfire ready and hope we find like a Witch Stalker off the top or something. Oh yeah, Smasher. Let's get Smasher. Mono red Knights over here. Boros Knights. Give us a Smasher. Hey Rob, good time zone to you. There's the red cap I should have in our deck. Mispicked a Fell the Pheasant over a red cap during the draft. Boo, Ryan. Just didn't see it. I mean, it's no taking a like removal spell over a Ravenous Chupacabra or whatever that pick Marshall did, but you know. Red cap is worth eating a Dragonfire. Ideally, you wait until there's some sort of trick on the stack and try to 2-for-1 them, but I'm not going to not use my mana there. Yeah, Moment of Craving over Chupacabra. I don't know, Fenor. That would drive me crazy, too. I'm very susceptible to all of the red numbers and various little tags that icons get to say, hey, do this thing. It like really makes me want to do that thing. All right, they're spending the turn pumping. We're gonna get. Ooh, I was gonna say we're gonna. Yeah, we'll still. We'll barrage the veteran here, and then Grumgoli and Bargin are both around for next turn. But let's get rid of this veteran, and we get Adamant as we do it. So it really helps us with this race. Red cap pumping a lot from Oppo, so it's doing some damage, but they're not really developing their board in the process. And we still have Bargin on the Rimrock, which should be great for us. But yeah, those are little design iterations. Hopefully they figure out. Oh, maybe can we just win here? Let's see. We get Bargin. Oh, we're so close to just winning, but we can Carver play Carver. Right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if they drop a land, they could just kill us on the backswing. But good news is, if they find a land, they need all 6 of their mana to pump to 7. So we can go ahead and Carver, go Shield's Might into Carver, and Carver, they can't remove Carver and pump the red cap to lethal. So unless they have like Bargin and the red drop removal spell of their own. So let's attack. Yeah, if they have the burn spell, that's rough, but I'm not going to play around it. We have Bargin to save it anyway, right? No, it would still kill it. Well, maybe we're not supposed to. We could also Grumgoli and Chump. I'm gonna try it. It's risky. Okay, we got away with it. Yeah, and at least we have that backup plan, right? If we do that and it doesn't work, we do have Grumgoli to come down and Chump. And actually, it wouldn't be a chump. Grumgoli to come down and trade. We're in a must-block situation, or they can just pump and win. So if they had like, or if they had Outflank plus Bargin, there were some combinations of cards they could have to win there, but it doesn't look like they had them. And unless they do something a little better than that, our Bargin alone should... Well, yeah, Bargin alone should be enough here. I will drop the land, though. I don't know why. Where it all comes down to Bargin working or not. So yeah, powerful card when it's working and winning games for you, but never forget the defensive liability that this card can be as well. Hey D, Jay will be on later, yes. GG, Sea of Fever. Ineffable blob with internet world problems. All right, nice keep. We get to go first, winning some die rolls too. Another place where we will play the knight on 2 if there's nothing better to do. But there we'd like to even give me a jousting dummy or something. No such luck, so we will Rimrock. We could just leave up Scorching and like plan to Scorch there too. Maybe that's actually worth it, given how this hand could play out, because look what we can do here. Grumgully into Carver plus Rimrock, into Rimrock buffed by Grumgully, and a spare 2/3 plus a Bargain. Like, I think I am going to just decide to Dragonfire whatever they do, and if they don't do anything that we need to Dragonfire or can, then that's good for us too. Then they haven't done anything with their turn really either. But instead, that's a perfectly good target. And we can try to get max advantage out of our Rimrock. Need one more land here. Mountain off the top would be ideal to unlock all of this hand's capabilities. Yeah, DC, that's fine. It's all. DC asked, do you ever get bored and annoyed with grinding out daily wins on an alt account? Yeah, I try not to be like, the only account that I let dictate my time is the main free-to-play account. I will, if I'm having a bad run and having a hard time getting those win bonuses on a side grind with the free-to-play account, that's a bummer, but I still do it because I really want to optimize and maximize that particular account. But every other account is if time, if not frustrated, if feeling good, etc.
I will invert the world to watch kings grovel and work. Surely you must be
all right,
famished.
well, we did not get the land, but we're sure getting that Oko. Nice smasher. So we get to Carver to bring it to 5, and then Rimrock to finish it off. Or Bargain. Yeah, I guess we Rimrock to finish it off. Die, Oko, die. Just glad we have the tools to kill it. Yeah, that's why I led with Rimrock, because then it couldn't screw us with auto tap. Wow, and they have a Wicked Wolf too? Did we slip into Constructed here? What the heck's going on? It's not standard. They're playing banned cards. Must be Pioneer. Well, guess what? we got a block. Charm sleep, boo. Well, that may give us another block at least. Except we can't halberd the human. So can we race here? I guess we Rimrock and halberd up the Rimrock. That's the only way we can race, I think. And then barge in plus Carver allow the Rimrock to do some work. That was a bad bad blow with the Charm Sleep, though. That's rough to have our Smasher smashed. Pause from Oppo. They don't have food to sacrifice, so I'm worried that they have a runaway together that is going to potentially undo this halberd at the very least. Well played, East. Well played. Wow! Alright, so much for blocking. Well, we were never blocking with a Rimrock, but I had dreams of, like, blocking with a Carver and pumping or whatever. But that's a large wolf. And we're soon to follow with a large tree. So not loving our chances in this one, but we'll see what we can do. I guess we ogre here over using any of our pump or playing the Carver. At least Rimrock does threaten to trade with the Tree Folk at 5 toughness, and Ogre Errant plus Carver and Bargain actually threatens to outright beat and trample over a 6/5. So looking grimmish. But maybe we can come up with something here to not die next turn. You're a peach, mama. Yeah, not surprised that we're having a little trouble in a in a game where we managed to, quote, beat a Oko only to have it go into a Wicked Wolf. Yow. All right, so Rimrock Knight is attacking because what else is it doing? Ogre Errant, let's see. We can cast a barge in and still get a Carver down as a chump. So I do think we attack with both, but the only combat trick we get to play is barge in. And that's worth it, because it makes both Ogre Errant and Rimrock trade with the Tree Folk, and then we can Carver for a chump. So that's the plan here. If they don't block, we lose. But I just figure they would block. Yeah, you know, they can't. Right, but as Zebra, we have to hope they do. We can't sit around and wait for Wicked Wolf and Tree Folk to attack us to death, because we lose anyway. We can't block with the Rimrock. So our only choice is to be aggro and hope it works out. if these three are lands and they draw a land and they attack with the wolf and we chump with Carver's +2/+2, we're actually 3 points away from just finishing them off. So much for nothing but land. But that's the mentality to have when you're trying to figure out your outs. There's the runaway together we kind of suspected the whole time. So no shame in that one. This is where, like, all week long I've been winning and feeling like about it, and here's a place where I lost and feel great about it. We took out Oko. We saw what the situation was and made every move we possibly could to give us every chance of somehow managing to win against those two incredible bombs. We didn't, but you're not going to lose sleep over that, and you get to pat yourself on the back over process and process orientation. So as far as losses go, that is in the no big deal camp. Well, I would argue they won because of Oko, Krauser. We attacked Oko for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we spent 7 points of attack damage on a planeswalker instead of their face. And the food that was made by Oko is what allowed the wolf to eat Grumgully with no consequence. So actually the Oko was essential to Oppo's victory there. All right, here's what I like to see. We didn't get the play, but we get Brute on 1, and if they don't put up any kind of blocking, on 2 we get Brute plus Rimrock. If they do put up some kind of blocking, oh, maybe we can go on 2, we can get Marleaf Rider even. All right, well, we'll see what we want to do. Point is, we got options. Hey, Chris, I haven't cracked football highlights yet. I'm gonna wait. I'm waiting for you to come up, and we can play when you come up for Christmas. All right, so here we are with options, but they have open mana. 3 damage, instant speed is a thing, and so I'm gonna go with Gingerbrute attack, play Rider. And we'll try to save our shenanigans for tapped down opponent. The double strike makes a lot of our options poor here. We're probably just Gingerbrute, make 1 unblockable, and Rimrocket at this point. Looks like we're getting to Searing Barrage Adamant and Surkara mana, so that's all right. But yeah, I guess we just go Brute. Make a Brute unblockable. Don't mess with me. All right, auto tap is doing right by us. Yeah, I can just make 2 unblockable. We can save the Rimrock. What does that do for us? Yeah, we can get to that later. I guess that's fine. This gets us, if we play the Rimrock, what it does for us is gives us the ability to play the Rimrock Knight as a 3/1 next turn, on a turn where we currently don't have anything else to do in hand, though. And although currently we could also just next turn Rimrock and Boulder Rush and Rimrock on the same turn. So okay, I'm with you. Although here's how this is why I end up with no hourglasses, but part of streaming too. I got to talk through what I'm doing, and so it puts me in a spot sometimes where I miss where I rope myself and lose that hourglass progress, which can haunt me later in the game. But Yeah, you're right, Biff. It's I guess as a streamer, it's the place I need to improve the most to give myself the best chance of not punting in the late game. But it's tough. Thinking about a lot of stuff. All right, so interesting spot. I think the Rimrock's got to go, and the barrage has got to stay. Because if anything, if they get to Reaper, we're going to need to kill the Reaper, and we're going to need to kill the Red Cap to get through there. So then the question is, do we get rid of the mountain or... Sir Kara. I'm going to do that. It's tough. Tough, tough, tough. But totally roped. Needed to do it. Needed to do something. This is good, though. Decent draw for our racing capabilities. Reaped. Didn't say please, you kind of see coming because of, oh here, let's fizzle this. Sacrificing the food to the rider here so that Murderous Rider fizzles and they don't get the, it goes to the graveyard so they could reanimate it, but at least they don't get the lifelink. All right, perfect. We're going to go ahead and barrage the Red Cap so we get in with both, and now we have the 5 mana next turn to re-equip this brute and continue our assault on their life total. If we draw a land, we can equip and make unblockable. If we don't draw a land, we can't do both. And now with this profit, we need to. I guess the worst is getting your Reap DSP'd. Yeah, we could equip Rider and Force Block, but we don't need to. I think we should just go for it. We drew a land, so let's do the Ginger Brute unblockable plan. And again, this is where I like Ginger Brute. I like Ginger Brute when you're doing stuff to make it better than 1 power. Good news that they're haggling means they don't have an answer right now to the Brute and are digging for it. And hopefully we see Exploding Karn shortly. So if they have the uncommon red removal spell, they still have an out, but it looks like it's coming down to that. Huh. I guess they didn't have it in their deck. All right, picking up the second win here. Looks good. Brute, Carver, Bards. Would like something else to do on 2 besides Carver or Ginger Brute. But if that's all we have, I might do it, just to be mana efficient. Depends on what Oppo does and what we draw. Well, there you go. I guess we will not be casting a pump spell on our Ginger Brute this turn, and we will relent the turn with no action. Good play, and since Oppo did get us to basically not have anything to do with 2 mana, with the aggressive nature of our deck, we really want to curve out. It's really valuable for us to do. We're going to curve out into a Smasher, which seems pretty great until it gets put to sleep again. If we don't mind the Ginger Brute being put to sleep, we could actually double... I'm going to take out the Queen here. Yeah, I'm going to take out the Queen because I don't want the Queen to block the Smasher. Like, better that the Queen... We take out the Queen with combat tricks, do something with our third turn. Because if we don't use Carver or Bargain, we're not doing anything with our mana. So, going to attack without making it unblockable. If they block... Oh, man. Surprised they just snap blocked. Whenever somebody attacks with Ginger Brute without making it unblockable, they're intending to trick. So you at least have to decide if that's what you want to do. Let's go for max damage here. I'm going to use Barge in for the kill, and then Carver to use all our mana. And the trample makes that worth it. I decided to use the Barge because of the trample. But Tron's line is fine too. If you didn't want to use that Barge there, you could just use the Carver. Could go Fierce Witch Stalker in case they have sleep or something like that. Make them use it on the Witch Stalker first. How does it do with the clock? 6 damage a turn at 17 versus 5. Yeah, it changes the clock. Right now, it's hard to predict the clock this far away, but putting 6 tough-to-block power on board does shorten their clock relative to the Witch Stalker, so I'm going to risk the better Rampart Smasher because it is a clock difference. But sometimes you want to lead with your worst creature so that it draws out Oppo's remaining removal, you know? That is true. It's 4 trample versus 5 non-trample, but also can't be blocked by knights and walls. And they're red-blue. Not like there's a lot of knights in blue, but they could end up having red knights they're trying to block with. But the lack of trample is a totally reasonable point, and it kind of gets to what I was talking about. Like, I try to look ahead to race numbers, damage, you know, clock numbers to help inform a close call, but the farther you get it, the more turns you need to execute the clock you're talking about, the less certain that clock is. Just so. Kind of would rather have, you know, the Witch Stalker out. But here we go. We're going to play Sir Kara, and you'll see what I mean, that I don't untap with her ever. Can't wait to see how they kill Sir Kara. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that name either, but that's what I'm doing. This has never happened to me before. What do I do? I guess we start by pinging. See if we find anything we want to cast. Rimrock. Now, what does it say? This turn. All right. Did they get to see it? Doesn't say face up, right? So it's exiled face down. And it doesn't have the eyeball on it. Don't we have cards in our deck that we want to play pre-combat? Like there's other Ginger Brute. There's too many things that we would want to play before combat, I felt. Or like giving this 2 +1/+1 counters. Oh, you mean... But I don't want to trade Sir Kara. Do we have pump? Why y'all want to trade off this? Anyway. Well, that's why I did it first, is that there's actual things to draw that we would want to do pre-combat. And here I am going to rock a rim. Oh, sorry. I was thinking of this as a pacify effect. That's my bad. Sorry. Small punt. When the Smasher got enchanted, it was like, and that card's done. Yeah, I see what you're saying now. You can understand why I didn't see that line, because I was thinking of the Smasher is not a combatant. I'll keep that in mind for my future attacks now that I've reset my brain on that one. But I still think there's a good argument for pinging face first and giving yourself access to pre-combat cards. I know, right, Chris? Like, it's no win situation, and it's an all-win situation. Right, exactly, Brian. That's a tough blocker, but Gingerbrute still gets through. We still ping past it. We can Witchstalker. This is a place where I'll gladly offer Witchstalker plus a ping for their Serpent. So yeah, let's do that. And we can unlock the Gingerbrute. No reason to attack with the Smasher now, even though I've now realized I can. Why attack all? Again, I'm not interested in throwing away my Knight. I don't understand what that gets us, Tron. And sending the Smasher into the Serpent doesn't make sense to me either. I mean, maybe you're expecting them not to block this like, why don't they just eat the Smasher with the Serpent? Well, I'm not expecting them to block with the dragon into our open trick. I guess the argument could be that they're at 11 life, or you're just trying to pressure their life total faster. What? Oh, come on. I don't know what happened there. That was a click lag. Wow. That's frustrating. Obviously not my strategic intent, and a click lag situation. I clicked on the Serpent, dragged away, and it clicked on the Lock Dragon. Damn it. So frustrating. But let's see if we can win through that. Gotta let that kind of stuff go too, and see if you can find a win anyway. Nah, WotC can't. I mean, all I can do, they can't fix click lag, you know? I mean, what if I report that to WotC, what are they going to do to make the situation better? Like, they're already doing performance stuff, and that will incidentally help that, but all I can do is kind of slow down my clicking in an effort to help. But here we are again. Now I'm going to do pinging face pre-combat, looking for Tree Folk. Tree Folk would be great to throw on this brute. Shorten this clock. Triple up this Gingerbrute's clock would be great. Halberd would be nice for that as well. Barrage would be okay. Bit of all right. Lots of things to do pre-combat, though. That's where we want to do it. Land, not what we wanted, but at least we can play it. Eventually, they can start tapping down the brute with the wheel, though, so we can't just expect to win by brute either. That's true. We get used to the only way to untap Sir Kara being, or the only way to get the card being kind of pinging with her, but you also get the card when instants and sorceries deal damage, so... One land and the wheel is online. They may just try to race us in the air. Yeah, if they need to spend all of their turns on the wheel, that's fine. That's generally good for us. But actually, in this spot, that wins them the game if nothing changes, right? If they keep tapping down the brute, attacking with the paladin, and holding off everything else with these two, then spending every turn on the wheel actually wins the game for them. So it is a real problem. All right. Halberd on Ginger Brute is fine. We can even put... I think we start on the Ginger Brute, make him start using the wheel, and then figure out what to do. But again, I'm going to start with a pre-combat ping, looking for action. Perfect! Just what we were asking for. And let's... Interesting. What do you want? You want to target? We can target the Serpent and get rid of a blocker that allows Carver and Rimrock to attack, right? Or we can take out the Paladin that is attacking us. But we have food and 17 life. I think we just take out the Serpent and then be able to attack with everybody. So let's start there. See what else we find. Another land. Oh, I should, knowing that, I shouldn't have played. I think I played out a land I didn't need to, but we'll drop Halberd, toss it on the Brute. Unblockable here. And we can swing with... Now I'm going to swing with everything. If they want to use either of these blocks, any of the blocks available to them on the Smasher, that's fine by me, and maybe they'll be nervous about what it means. And we have food eating still available. All right, now we're in a good spot. They need life gain or something to be able to win. We get to untap with a pinger, and they're at 1, so they need to kill Sir Kara with enough mana left over to tap the Brute or whatever, so it doesn't look good for them. Yeah, force blocks anyway, you're right. So to that end, I could have just left it back, but we knew they were going to block. There was no trickery, but yeah, probably was a mistake to attack with the 1/1 just because it was a force block situation that we couldn't capitalize on. I think we had the game pretty well wrapped up, but it was throwing away the Smasher when it couldn't do any good. A non-productive out, to use a baseball term. All right, 3-1. Deck's looking pretty good. Doing its thing. Little light on action, but we're going to keep. Might do another Ginger Brute pumped by Carver by Shield's Might on 2. Oh man. They're never gonna block, right? I think I gotta give them a chance to block, just in case. Some people are bad enough to block here. Yeah, they're not. But I'm gonna go ahead and use the Carver. This could be trouble. If the Ginger Brute lives, we're in good shape, because we get to halberd it up. But yeah, I expect a big go wide here. Oh, and that's a little bit of a problem, but because Ginger Brute can block Ginger Brute, but we do have halberd to make our Brute bigger and better. And we get we don't get Once Upon a Time if we want to halberd and go unblockable, which we do, so we'll save once for another turn. Or can we afford to? Like, the other thing we could do is halberd and sit back. Maybe we need to block. But a 3-2 doesn't block the Youthful Knight. It does hold back these tokens in the Ginger Brute, though. And then we can, once at the end of turn, looking for more help. Because if we attack, we get them to 13, but they attack us down pretty straightforwardly to 11. And then I think we're kind of losing the race. We don't have anything else to do, though, so I'm going to go halberd and equip. And then I think we do have to stay back here. Too bad. Two mana, much worse than 0 mana, but hopefully we'll find something good. Want to find Sir Kara and start pinging off all these one toughness. That would be the perfect Once Upon a Time find. Question is, if they attack with the Worthy Knight, do we offer the block there? Maybe not, because we have Barrage, but I'm not sure how we don't offer to trade for even tricks at this point. Even we got to trade for something. Hey, kitty. Well, we could eat. Maybe we need to eat food instead of once. We get Carver next turn. Let's eat. If they're going to 2-for-1 themselves with a quality creature like that, that's remarkable. Aggression. We got Carver or we got Rider plus once. Carver straight up forces the Ginger Brute activation and blocks here, so we're going to go Carver. All right, they're signaling no tricks for now. And we found the very knight I was hoping for. So let's cast her and try and turn the screws. We could even attack. I probably should have thought. I didn't. Hasty play again. Should have talked through whether or not to attack before playing a creature. They have not shown. We don't think they have a trick, so I am going to attack. I should have done this with mana up, but I don't think it matters because they were never going to take it under any circumstance. But definitely better to be attacking with mana up than not, and to figure out your attacks before casting stuff. All right. I think we attack with Carver and then have the ping ready. But we start with a Carver attack. Yeah, this is 2 games now that I've untapped with Sir Kara. That's crazy. It's not supposed to happen. I'm going to go ahead and board control. I think we get Ginger Brute here, although we could do it during their turn so that if they sack to eat the cookie, they use mana on their turn. I'm going to play this, and I think we go Rider and look to once at the end of this turn, at the end of their turn. So we're doing it here so that they don't get a chance to draw a pump spell to save it, but they use the eating mana on their turn, so they don't have 6 mana available this turn. Oh, man. Can't sack it or anything, so they get the card. They use their whole turn there, though. That's actually pretty good for us. All right, now we get to once. I'm a little boy, you're a little girl, once upon a time. It's a debut. I honestly expected to run that meme to a curious pair. Not a once upon a time, but there you go. All right, we're gonna go. We're gonna do. I don't care about this human as much as pre-attack ping. Oh, yeah, I guess we could do it by. That's fair. We could be attacking with Sir Kara, but there's a lot of we can do pre-combat. That's the thing. Yeah, they could have Rimrock up. That's true. Let's go. Yeah, I think I did miss lethal there. Sorry, I was excited about my meme, so I think I actually misplayed because I was meme excited. Anyway, let's go like this. Still have a pretty good attack here. And at this point, happy to trade off with that Worthy Knight. Let's do this one. I think we got this one, folks. Yes, I chose Entertainment Eevee. Let's go with that. I don't think that's enough to save him with this Searing Barrage in hand. They're at a virtual 5 now, but it's not going to be enough. Well, that's a lot of blockers. No, not enough, though. The early GG, that was Nantuko yesterday. All right. Despite giving them another draw step, we come up with the win and the meme. I couldn't believe we actually drafted a Once Upon a Time. I was expecting the Magic gods to be fickle and like actually not give me a Once Upon a Time to cast the whole event or something. All right. Meme value and hand value. This looks great. We're going to go ahead and open on once and see if we find a Gingerbread or something. See ya, Chris. Have a good day. Now I got to be ready.
I'm a little boy, you're a little girl, once upon a time.
We'll take Grumgully here over land. Because we have Gingerbrutes in the deck that we may want to do on turn one, Glad. Do we hold Rider to make it a 4-2? Given that Oppo has played a Cauldron Familiar, I think we do, or else the Rider is just destined to trade once with the Familiar before it comes back. So despite it leaving us with nothing to do on 2, we're going to pass to try and make our Rider effective in the game state we already see is going to be happening. This is Mobius? I didn't know he was paid actor. I love Mobius. I guess I never realized Mobius's screen name was paid actor. Is that true, or is that last game? Why wouldn't he be Mobius? How is this Mobius? Oh, a second account. Ah, I see. Tell him hello. And then I think Familiar sucks. No. Familiar doesn't suck. It's just, I really want to have the oven combo with it for it to be great in Limited. Well, here's hoping we can thwart his efforts to get to Mythic. Unfortunately, he didn't find a second forest. We could go Rider, Halberd onto Rider if we'd had a second forest, but the Reeve Soul on our Grumgully is the big problem here. Although if he taps out, we can Oaken Boon next turn and get a 5-3. Kruzica, look into this is open enrollment time. In fact, part of my adulting this afternoon is going to be open enrollment based. I like Halberd on the Rider so that we can attack through Kitty. And then we get Smasher after that. It's a big smack. Mobius, what you gonna do? Halberd on Ogre creates a win more, is like, this is already a battle cruiser. We don't need to make it into a bigger battle cruiser. I would rather create, much rather create 5 power that can attack through the blocker they're presenting rather than make a 7-6. Difference between a 5-5 and a 7-6 isn't that big a deal. The difference between a 3-1 and a 5-2 is massive. Yeah, you gotta watch. I'm on ACA stuff too. I've been juggling different plans all the time, and now I'm in that spot where it's like, well, I could pick I could switch to a plan that saves me like $20 a month, but then I'm restarting with a whole new company and a whole new system, and it's like, God, is it worth $240 for 2020 to not have the hassle of switching healthcare plans? It's an interesting conundrum. Our hand is pretty good, especially if Mobius goes for one big thing. 1/5 toughness stabilizing play. We get to basically hit him for 13 if he does that. Well, at least it's a simple process, Fool Auto. Yeah, I think that qualifies. We're going to barrage that out of the way and set up for quite a turn next turn too with the Tree Folk. So now he's got a virtual extra 6 life here and is somewhat out-carding us, but I think we continue to try and press this attack advantage while we have it. I mean, we could just offer the Rider for the Witch Stalker, but I think we'll just offer the Rider for whatever his follow-up stabilization play is. Huh, there was a pause. Oh, yeah, because he's got Familiar. I was like, why was there a pause? Because Familiar. Yeah, so he'll save more life by doing this. But good to get him using up his food anyway. Well, another argument for like single payer is that it's kind of weird that we have this expectation that it's become the norm that our companies in America, part of how they compete for employees is offering different, that healthcare is an employee perk in a kind of way that's weird to me. Like it's become normal, but like, why is that normal? Here we can go Forest, Wheel, and cast the Oaken Boon. Trouble is, Oaken Boon on Rider doesn't get it done, but Oaken Boon on Smasher does because these are both knights. So that's what we're going to do here. We could even offer the Rider. They just trade the Swordmaster for it, though, and I don't see the need to do that here. We can move the Halberd next turn and threaten 9 power of attack, which defeats even... well, it doesn't defeat lifelink plus eating food, I guess. Bog Naughty. Was that a mistake? Because now we just win, right? I think Mobius needed to gain life and eat. Oh, the cat. Sure. Good call. Cat. Keep forgetting the cat. Mobius, better player than me. Or at least has a plan that I didn't see. We could leave the wheel to tap down. We can tap the cat though, and then they go up to 6. Yeah, we can tap the cat. So I think we can do it anyway. Oh, but they have Bognati. We just force them to block with a Bognati in that case, but still worth it, right? So let's attack and make him bring out the cat, and then we can tap the cat and force the naughty block. Might even want to send the Rider at this point too, since this isn't going to be lethal. I like sending both here. We're going to use this Halberd on the Smasher eventually anyway. I like clearing out there, because we're going to make more big things. I like getting them, having them do this. Oh, interesting. What you up to, Mobius? Not the block I was expecting on, and the lack of cat activation also interesting. Yeah, it could be Appetite. Looks like, yeah, Appetite would be a good play for... Yeah, he might think I have Pump, but also this is explained by him having Pump. Appetite's a playable card. I don't know if it's good. But we can't do anything here, so I don't know why I'm letting this rope dwindle. There's no, we literally have no choices. Yeah. So that hurt, but we got a good follow. Now, I don't think Mobius would play the Death Touch card, but the lack of cat activation suggested immediately that it was... Ooh. Do we take that trade? I see, yeah. That's why Mobius blocked with the 4-3. We can be tapping it down with the wheel. Can we win if we do that every turn? So let's see, we take 8 here. We go to 8. The Mobius goes to 10. And then we knock him to 4. And we start tapping the Swordmaster. And the kitty, if it comes back, could be problematic. But if this is a blank and the top of his library is blank, that plan works. So we're going to take this. Can't equip Halberd now, though. Well, now we gotta start tapping the Swordmaster, or the lifelink is too much. Or, I mean, we gotta tap this because we die. We're at 8. Really? First time? I mean, the wheel is clunky, but it certainly made a difference in some games I've seen around these parts. Well, that suggests he does not have anything except a chump for the Tree Folk. And we can go Forest, Brute. Well, here's the thing. Maybe we win. But if he has something, if he has a bacon to a pie, instead of winning, we lose. Although we can leave the Brute back. Let's go for the win, but leave Brute back to block. Because then we don't lose on the crackback if there's something fishy here. So I was thinking I was going to attack with the Brute, but actually we're going to leave the Brute back. All right. GG Mobius. He played really well, played to all of his outs, and made us really earn that one, but we just got there. Was that the safe line? I think given that we had the chump, I think we did it right. If Brute Attack plus Halberd was lethal, are you suggesting attack with the Brute that turn, get him to 3, and then threaten lethal with Brute plus Halberd the turn after? Maybe that's correct. You could convince me that was maybe a more reliable line. Our deck name is Bizarre Love Pentagon. Which is funny, because that's about the Lovestruck Beast, which we have not seen all event, not even in our hand ever. So maybe it'll be in our opener right now, because I'm talking about the Lovestruck Beast. Here he comes. No. We do get Grumgully, Rimrock, Dragonfire. We're going first. We're keeping, of course. Our dream is to find something to do on 2 besides Rimrock, though, because Rimrock is pumped by Grumgully. Yeah, we've had once in opener and once hard cast mid-game. All right, I think I'm going to be greedy again and say if they don't give us something worth dragon firing, that's fine. Then we've both done nothing with our second turn of note. In this case, because the future of our turns is so clogged up by what we plan to do with our hand, I am going to go ahead and Dragonfire a fairly whatever kind of creature, but it's about setting up the future. We're going to hopefully be very busy casting other stuff the next few turns. Boo! Oppo has removal too, I suppose that happens. Now we want something to do here. Extra boo. I am going to go with Rimrock. No value Rimrock, though. We have Keeper of Fables, so if they don't put up anything that is worth blocking the knight with, we get a free card out of it. If not, we have the option of turning it into a 5/3, which ought to get it through for some damage. Not only do we have a Once Upon a Time Krauser, but we have a new meme, and it's, oh, interesting. You gonna fight? Let's fight. I'll take that trade. That's good. Hopefully someone conveyed my GGs to him. Well, they didn't want to make that trade, and so we're gonna just offer it now. We could do Paladin, but I love the damned if you do, damned if you don't choice here. Your choice, Oppo. Block or give us a card. You'd think that would be enough, Oppo. And if you have a pump spell, it still will be. But we're going to make you have that pump spell. And I'm going to put counters on the Keeper and make him have it. Because if they do have a pump spell, it should still be a trade. Do we want to throw that on the Keeper or save it? I think we save this. We can slot this in when we're going to be attacking on the same turn with it. Kruzica says, no, I can't take out Link because Link is locked in, but we do have a Care Bear that let's put, how about up for Peanuts here. Care Bear cousins, if you want to get technical. What happened? What happened? Ah, they've done their own pumping. Well, now I guess we get, we do put the halberd on the Fable Keeper because it lets it attack again. And we still get Paladin. Although Smasher can't be blocked by the Rider, so there could be there's a good reason to run out Smasher instead of Paladin. Wheel is interesting. We play the wheel, we'd have 3 left over, which doesn't let us do anything with it, except it does let us tap stuff down for next turn. That being said, I think we go Smasher so that the Rider can't block. And also, the Smasher-Rider interaction is not obvious. Like, the Rider is not obviously a knight, and the Smasher it's easy to forget it has pro-knight. Now we're a little bit more stalled. Oh, Rimrock. How does that change things? If we go wheel 4, 3, 2, 1, we have 6 total, 5, 3, 4, then we get 6, 5. So we can go wheel Paladin pass. I think we go wheel Paladin and then oh no, I mathed wrong. 6, 5, 4, 3, 4. Yeah, I mathed wrong. Sorry. If we attack with both, what happens? This has to block this. Yeah, they get a double block. They get Gingerroot and Rider on Fable, and I don't... Why is that obvious? Kruzica says attack with both easy, but attack with both says we trade Rider and Gingerbrute for Keeper, and we trade Paladin for Smasher. Is that what we want? Then we're facing a Tree Folk. All right. Yeah, but Rider blocks Keeper. Oh, Paladin's a knight too. Good point. Yes. Okay. That does make it worth it. Okay. I was talking about how the Rider is easy to forget that it's a knight, meanwhile forgetting that Paladin's a knight. Classic. Good work, Spain. Good work. So they will double block the Keeper. We will Rimrock it and take out both of their big dudes. Yeah, this should prompt a scoop. Doesn't even matter which order we do it in. They're tapped out. It's gonna wreck them pretty good. And now we'll just drop the Paladin. That should be enough. I guess they get to play the Tree Folk and survive for 1 turn. Because whenever we put the Halberd... Okay, they want to do that? Wow. But, oh, why did they just choose to lose? They could have not lost. The Cardinator asks, if I was gifted a sub in a channel for a month, what do I do when that month is out? You resub from your own bank account and support my stream, Cardinator. Yeah, if you have Twitch Prime, you can support my stream for free. Or yeah, you wait for Mama to not be able to help herself again. Yeah, wait for Fiddles or Mama to do right by you. That's what... I mean, all you have to do is, like, Cardinator just show up and go,
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
Thank you, Brush. When your sub runs out, you come back to the stream, and you just say something really pathetic in chat like, oh no, my sub has run out. But Mama has to be there, and then she'll hook you up. Because that's Mama for you. All right. We're doing great. 6-1. Missing a couple things today, but I'm happier with my play today than I've been with all week, so that's something. Good question. My plan for Christmas week is still up in the air because basically my streaming capability is somewhat gated by whether my family's around or not, and I don't know what my wife's going to be doing for work, her work plan during that week. Oh, this hand is great. And we got our beast. So I'll try to figure that out that soon and let you know. Hopefully I don't have a 1-drop.
Some say I never heard of ya. A rap burglar.
Look at that. Mama's given 77 subs. Can you all process that for a minute? Thank you so much, Mama. Your support is incredible. Darn it, they actually had the 1. Of course, a lot of people have the brute. But,
Some say I never heard of ya.
Man.
A rap burglar.
pretty frustrating that we don't get to Rimrock for a 3 damage right here. Boo. All right. Well, we don't. We can play the Rimrock, though. We could play one of our Rimrocks. Trouble is that also trades off with the Brute, so I'm going to treat the Rimrocks like... no, I think they will. I think that's why they didn't attack. The reason why you would expect an opponent to actually make this trade is if they can't deal with a Lovestruck Beast, they need it to not attack. So if they have no way to deal with a 1/1, they might be very afraid of a 5/5 attacker on 3. And so that's why I'm not going to make the offer. And I'm not even going to make that either. Yeah, we're going to do it this way. So I thought this was just going to be this stellar curve out hand, but instead we are going to take turn 2 off, unfortunately. All right, now they're off to the races. They're playing white. Maybe they got it trapped in the tower all set up for the beast. But we're going to make them have it, and then we'll follow with the Paladin in a few turns after. Hopefully we find another forest and make it nice and big. Oh, I guess I see they have another Ginger Brute. Ryder, you are so late. Look at all these stupid 1 toughness against the Ginger Brute, but that's all right. Let's 5 toughness, much better. Have a little self-confidence, Beast. You're a good person, and the right partner for you will see that through the horns. They did have something ready for the old Beast. All right, let's go. Let's see. We can make Belle go for some revenge. Belle's like, I'm the Beast now. Yeah, I like that. Shields are down. The other option would be to make one of these bigger. Nah, Belle's revenge. And check out this 5/5 stuffed into this casket. It's like, that
Some say I never heard of ya. A rap burglar.
that casket overfloweth. Thank you, Mama. Enjoy the subs, you lucky ducks. All right, rocking us back. Here, I'm going to go Rider double Rimrock. Let's just... Looks like we're racing here, so let's race, shall we? You got it, Mama. Turns out the beast was the beauty all along. Wow, the race is on. I wonder what they got to have a follow-up play here, right? They're not just going to let me crack for 6. All right, this is so clearly the untap spell, but we have the tools to blow them out for it, so I'm actually excited. We found the land. Most likely is a Searing Barrage blowout here, but if... Oh, swoop. They're swooping. Okay, swoop makes sense too. That's fine, because we get to follow with Paladin. Now they got to do some activation. They have to spend 2 of their currently available 5 mana to activate Brutes if they want to get in for racing. And if not, we untap with Barrage and 3 creatures with 3 or more power. So I like our spot, but it's not ironclad or anything. Oppo in the tank a bit, though. That's always a good sign. And I think it's a good sign that they feel the need to race, given the board. Yeah, I think they were deciding whether to race with a Brute or drop a Tree Folk. Maybe they're just figuring this way they can make a creature and still do some attacking. Too bad we didn't get the other extra mountain. Extra mountain would be wildly good for us. But I think we try for... Like, Paladin is not blockable by these currently. These 2 are. So they're not just dead. But if we burn the Tactician out of the sky, for example, they're taking 8. We're not lethal, though, because they can block, right? And they can also block and eat. Yeah, it'd be lethal with Mountain, but we don't have it. That's another interesting line. We could play the Witch Stalker to create food to force the block here. That gives us a chance to find Barrage, which might be a cleaner win here. I don't want to lose to the Crackback. Like, they could have a pump spell that gets us on the Crackback, but maybe we just have to take that chance. All right, let's do that. We're going to make him have something. Yeah, Barrage. Yeah, maybe this is fancy play syndrome. But Barrage next turn could be very good if we get a mountain. But Fenrir might be right. This could be fancy play syndrome, but we're going to do it. I mean, they were going to block anyway, right? The Tactician was almost a forced block anyway. So I think this is fancy play syndrome, but maybe we'll still get the win. Leave the token back. Thing is, if they have pump, the token back doesn't do anything, right? Because they activate, pump, and we can't block these. So we're dead to pump if they have it. We've kind of made the play that we're going to assume they don't have it, which is why Fenrir was probably right that the play was just to keep Barrage up. But we'll see if it costs us. Might still get the win, but I think that was a suboptimal fancy play syndrome play here. Now that I fully process. Look at me, late game with 0 hourglasses again. It's how I roll. Well, Mama, if it's not fine, it will certainly be what it is. And we have the Witch Stalker back anyway to force those activations. Let's see if they've got the pump. Appetite FTW? Question mark? Because Appetite gives them 8, sacrificing Brute. Yeah, they have it. Good job, Oppo. So Fëanor wins this game where we do not. I should have seen that. I'm a little disappointed in myself on that. Like I say, I've been overall today. I've played better and have been happier with my play. But that was totally sucked into fancy play syndrome. I was all set to do the right thing and then did the wrong thing instead. All right, let's see if we can still get 7 wins, despite kind of throwing that one away. I think we win that if we keep the Searing Barrage up. The fancy play was playing a creature that makes food to sack the food to the rider to force the 2/3 flyer to block instead of just attacking with the good attack we had and holding Barrage up for their attack back. All right, good start. Need another green to get the Witchstalker going, but if we can find that, this hand looks great. So our goals here would be the dream is some kind of 2-drop, something to do on 2. And if I could stack my deck, I would put a great 2-drop, any 2-drop creature besides a Rimrock on top, and then a forest on top after that. That would be the perfect draw for this hand. I don't know what they're thinking, Dionysus. It seems like a bad business practice to me, but again, all companies are just people making decisions together. Like, it's hard to know where the buck stopped with this one. With nothing else to do on the turn and a lot coming up to do, again, I'm going to fill our curve with some extra damage. All right, found our second green source as well. They have a very nice start, but we got a Lovestruck Beast here on 3. We could go Grumgully and set up even bigger beasts, but I think maybe Grumgully is the greedy thing to do here if we do that. I think we just play the beast. Why mess around? Reeve Soul doesn't take out the beast, and red has a lot of trouble with damage taking out the beast. Oh, we found Dragonfire. That's nice too. Yeah, we're not going to block. Ooh, I think this is going to go pretty well for us, but I don't know if we do Scorching Dragonfire this turn. They don't have enough power to block the beast, and we can drop a Witchstalker. It's funny that I'm not getting around to Grumgully, but I think what we'll do is Witchstalker here, and then Grumgully Scorching Fire next turn, and then our subsequent creatures will get the Grumgully effect. But I think we just want to use all our mana here, and that means Witchstalker after attacks. We're at 15. This makes food to put us at a virtual 18 if we can find the time to eat the food. Oppo's pretty darn aggro here and can make the red cap a 4/3. We can decide. We might even want to trade off the Witchstalker. In that case. Are these both human? Human. Oh, they can't. Can't be a 4/3 unless they play a non-human. Oh, did I miss a GG? Good game, K Cyclef. We were just I totally punted that. Had Searing Barrage in hand, and if I just left the Searing Barrage up, you wouldn't have been able to get us with the pump spell finish. Got a little fancy with my play, and it costs us. Oh, you want the Vandal? Sure. Where's the Vandal? Oh, looks like it's hitched a little bit. Let me try that again. Huh. I'm having trouble firing memes right now. Sorry. Okay, where are we at? We drew barge in. We've got mountain. So we could go Dragonfire, dummy, barge in, but I think I like Dragonfire. Maybe even wait till they block. This smells tricky. I mean, they've got, I expect like bacon to a pie or something here. So we don't need to do Grumgully pre-combat. There's nothing, no value there. So I'm going to send in with our 2 big boys. Assume Oppo is up to something, and that we have barge in plus Dragonfire to make it work out. So I'm going to start with a barge in. This actually puts us off Grumgully potentially, but then we barge in to win combat. Trouble is if they bake. Maybe we just accept this. I think what I'm going to do is accept a 2-for-1 and then react if they want to do something else about it. Ooh, but there was no response. It's like they can't do anything about it. Okay, in that case, I'm going to risk it for Le Biscuit. This was me kind of using game tells to decide to do that play. The lack of a pause when I passed first strike damage made me feel like there was no response. Oh, did I miss lethal? Sorry, Prof. That was me in board control land. I do that sometimes, but it didn't cost us. Missed lethal, but got lethal. And 7 wins! You can be as bad as I am and still get lots of 7 wins. That's how, I mean, I'm kidding. I mean, I know I'm not a bad player, but like you all see the number of mistakes I make, right? Like I make a lot of mistakes. We still have a lot of success. The game has huge room for improvement for just about everybody. No matter where you are in your Magic, no matter where you are in your game, there's room above you to get better. And it's a good reminder that you can make a lot of mistakes in Magic and still have a lot of success.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Kaislef. I don't know how we want to pronounce that, but love the sub. Let's claim this prize. Well, trying to use up our resources on this spare side account, but instead we're adding to them. We ended up plus on gems for the day. We're at 11:30. I don't suppose Mr. Schneider's in the house. What I think I'll do regardless is take a little bit of bio break, and then we'll do some of these. We'll do maybe one of these queues, and then we'll get Jay on for some constructed. Sound good? I hope so. Let me hop to Soapbox for a second. Thank you those watching on YouTube. I really appreciate you hanging out to the bitter end. Hope you enjoyed that one, and we'll catch you the next draft.